okay now.
I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Let's speak on it. This is a stretch for anybody to reach on me. Just breathe on it, don't tell them. They gotta know it's me on it. Won't kick it on me and go for 3 on you. You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor. I got it covered, D's corner. I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Let's speak on it. This is
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to D's Corner. Again, I am D. We are continuing with the off-season recap grades. This week's video, we got the AFC East, talking about the draft, free agency, everything to do with the off-season as we get closer and closer to the start of training camp. Once again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out my guy Static Spaz at staticspaz.com. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. First up, we have the Buffalo Bills. They had a pretty good offseason. They had coming off a playoff berth, wild card loss to the Houston Texans, led by Josh Allen. My free agency player spotlight would be Stephon Diggs, who they traded for from the Minnesota Vikings. And in the draft, it is their running back, Zach Moss, out of Utah. And Stephon Diggs there getting a bona fide #1 receiver. He's coming off back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons. He will be looked at early and often in Buffalo. He has great hands. He runs fantastic routes. He knows how to get open. He's coming in as the #1 option. He can work inside. He can work outside. He's a great pickup for the Buffalo Bills. I'm just hoping Josh Allen is able to get him the ball regularly, because his accuracy has been an issue. In Zach Moss, they're getting 5'9", 223-pound back who will complement Devin Singletary. He will be the power back, but he is agile enough to make guys miss in space. He has really good balance and vision. He rushed for over 4,000 yards in college, 38 touchdowns. He'll be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He runs pretty decent routes, as you can see here. He is fantastic at making guys miss and forcing broken tackles. Him and Devin Singletary added with Stephon Diggs. This offense now looks like it has some firepower to match up with its defense. The Buffalo Bills offseason recap grade for me is a B. Their defense was already one of the best in the league last year. They added to their defensive line with A.J. Epinesa in the draft to go along with Ed Oliver and Tremaine Edmonds up front. This team looks very dangerous. They already had an elite secondary with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer at safety, and Tre'Davious White outside at corner. They brought in Josh Norman to possibly play next to Tre'Davious White. But offensively is where this team did a lot of damage this offseason. Bringing in Stephon Diggs, adding Zach Moss, that's a whole lot of firepower for this team. They already have John Brown out wide, who is a burner, who Josh Allen can just throw it up to. But now you have Stephon Diggs, who can really run any route in the route tree. He can beat you over the top. He can beat you in intermediate, and he can beat you underneath. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary will form a nice complementary duo in the backfield. This team made the playoffs last year as a wild card slot. This year there are 7 spots open. With Tom Brady leaving and Cam Newton coming to a new offense, this team could possibly win the AFC East. But we have to consider, at the end of the day, the Patriots still may have the best quarterback in the AFC East. But with Tom Brady gone, is this now the Bills' chance to take over? Up next, we got the Miami Dolphins, who, under the head coach of Brian Flores, is possibly building this team and scratching and clawing its way out of the AFC dumpster. I really like their offseason. I really like this coaching staff. I really like what they're putting together. They focused on defense and building basically a Patriot-esque scheme with former Patriot players. In free agency, my player spotlight is one of those players. linebacker Kyle Van Noy, and in the draft, of course, the quarterback of the future, Tua. Kyle Van Noy can make plays all over the defense. He is a great fit for this scheme. He already knows the coverages. He already knows the calls. He's coming over from New England, where he had 6.5 sacks last year. And he'll be able to lead this defense. He can rush. He can cover. He works well in space. He knows how to blitz. You can tell that he was really coached up in New England, and he's going to bring that to this new young defensive team. And my man Tua, the Dolphins are getting a very, very, very accurate quarterback. He puts great touch on the ball. He can make throws all over the field. He's good at RPO. He is fantastic at throwing the slant. You can see him go through his progressions. He knows how to make the right calls at the right moments, the right throws. The issue with Tua was his hip. All reports say he's healthy and can actually start week 1. It was actually an update today saying that he was ready to roll for training camp. Him and Devontae Parker will form a nice little duo. He will actually be the best quarterback Devontae Parker has played with thus far in his pro career. This team has so many draft picks last year and this year that they could be a AFC East juggernaut in due time. The Miami Dolphins offseason recap grade for me is an A. They brought in a ton of versatile players on defense who can play multiple positions in multiple fronts. So basically, you're going to confuse the offense of your opponent's offense each week in and week out. They also signed players from teams inside their division, with Shaq Lawson coming over from the Bills and a few players from the Pats. So that's always a good offseason when you can strengthen your team by weakening teams inside your division. Byron Jones was the money ball corner that they paid from the Cowboys, who can play corner or safety. On offense, they brought in Jordan Howard and Matt Breida to run the ball and make it easier for Tua in his development. They drafted really well, and I could see 9 of their 11 picks making an immediate impact. This seems to be a good regime in Miami. I really, really, really like Brian Flores. He seems like a player's coach, like he listens to his guys. Everyone thought they were tanking for Tua last year, and he had his team ready to run through a wall for him. Plus, with Tom Brady now out of the AFC East, the AFC East could be up for grabs. And this team is loaded with draft capital next year as well, and they're going to have money to spend again. So this team is very much well on the rise. Up next, we have the New England Patriots, who everyone knows they already lost the GOAT, Tom Brady. But my player spotlight was late in free agency, and you lose an MVP, and you replace that MVP with another former MVP in quarterback Cam Newton. And on the defensive side of the ball, Anthony Jennings, the outside linebacker from Alabama. In Cam Newton, the Pats are getting something that they have never had before at quarterback. They are getting a former MVP. Yes, I know they already had that, but Cam is dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's only 31, and before the injury, his stats with North Turner were on par with his MVP season. Cam is bigger than most defensive ends. He's stronger than most safeties and corners, and he can outrun most linebackers. He has a cannon for an arm. He can throw it. He can run it. He doesn't really make very many mistakes, and with him coming in as late as he did with a chip on his shoulder, Josh McDaniels, a lot of people forget, took Tim Tebow as his quarterback to the playoffs. So Josh knows how to call plays for an athletic quarterback. I think they'll get the ball out of Cam's hands fast, but Cam is going to be a beast in New England. Anthony Jennings is a 6'3", 260-pound outside linebacker from Alabama. He's a perfect fit in this defense. They lost Kyle Van Noy. You replace him with Anthony Jennings. He can rush the passer. He can play the run. He has freakishly long arms, and he's hard to get away from. This guy is going to make some plays early and often for this New England defense. The New England Patriots offseason recap grade for me is a B. I will be honest with you, before the Cam Newton signing, I had him at a C. Cam is extremely late offseason addition, and he's not even going to make $1 million. He's only got 500,000 fully guaranteed. He'll bring a different dynamic to the Pats. They haven't seen anything but one type of quarterback for 20 years in Tom Brady. Cam is coming in with a stable of running backs. A lot of people forget that the Patriots have a stable of running backs. So the RPO could be being installed as we speak in New England. With the limited weapons that they have, look for the ball to leave Cam hands fast. In the draft, they went defensive heavy. I like the pick of Josh Uche and Anthony Jennings. They should help fill the voids left by Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Duggar will most likely replace Patrick Chung when he hangs it up. He has great size to be a box safety or even a dime linebacker. The Pats love versatility on defense, and they continued that trend. On offense, they got 2 tight ends, which was a position that they were lacking when Gronk retired, but now they've sent Gronk on to Tampa Bay. So with this coaching staff, a new veteran and former league MVP at quarterback, again, the AFC East still very well may run through New England, like it or not. Finally, we have the New York Jets. They didn't really have a great offseason. I don't know that they ever really do have great off seasons. So for this particular offseason recap, I don't even have a free agency player spotlight, as the players that they brought in were very short of anything. Nothing was spectacular about it at all. It's basically depth players. In the draft, I do like 2 of their picks. The first would be Ashton Davis, the safety out of Cal, who they took in the 3rd. And I also like cornerback Bryce Hall from Virginia. A lot of people had a first round grade on him before he got injured. Ashton Davis is a 6'1", 202-pound safety with 4.4 speed. He can become a great running mate with Jamal Adams or Marcus May, whichever one the team doesn't trade. He was a really good pickup in the 3rd round. A lot of people had a higher round grade on him, but he did get injured. I think he is a good, young, talented, versatile weapon in the secondary. It's a great pickup for the Jets. Bryce Hall very well may be the steal of the draft. He was 6'1", 202-pound corner. A lot of people had 1st or 2nd round grades on him. That shows you his potential. That was before his injury. He can play man, but he works great in zone. He's a very good blitzer. His eyes are fantastic. He sees and reacts phenomenally. It's like his recognition of plays is outstanding. With that and his coverage abilities with Greg Williams, who will call the perfect defenses for him, this is a fantastic pick for the Jets. The New York Jets offseason recap grade for me is a C, just because all of the drama surrounding this team. In my opinion, I honestly believe that Adam Gase is the issue. Their offensive line needed upgraded, and in free agency, he didn't make any moves to do that. They did draft Mekhi Becton in the 1st round, who is a huge beast at left tackle. But if you watch his film, he more so imposed his will instead of technique. For that reason, I think he will play on the right side instead of the blind side protector of Sam Darnold. I like the pickup of Denzel Mims. He basically replaces Robbie Anderson as the go route. He doesn't have a very well-rounded route tree, but when he ran a 4.3 at the combine, he shot up draft boards and somehow still didn't get picked up until the 2nd round. The 2 best picks, in my opinion, were Ashton Davis and Bryce Hall. This team is going to have a major makeover in the secondary in the coming years. Jamal Adams has already requested a trade and has bashed Adam Gase, saying he's not the guy to lead them to the promised land. And during the draft, there were reports that the team intended to trade Marcus May. So you may possibly lose both of your starting safeties, who are young, they are talented, and they form a nice tandem. I'm like 90% positive one of them will be gone. In my opinion, I think they would trade Jamal Adams and re-sign Marcus May, as he will not command top dollar like Jamal Adams is requesting. But this team has a decent roster. They have really good building blocks. They just need the right guy to lead them. Maybe Greg Williams gets a shot at interim head coach if Gase is fired during the season. But they will definitely need a new leader at the head coach position come next season. All right, everybody, man, I appreciate you watching again. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate the love. Any feedback, if you disagree with anything, if you just want to chat, put it down in the comment section below. If any other videos you want to see, let me know. I'm working on the predictions for the records. That'll be coming out soon as I finish with the offseason recap grades. So I really appreciate the love again. I'm out of here.
Okay, now. I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Yeah. Let's speak on it. This stretch for anybody to reach on me. Just breathe on it, don't tell them. They gotta know it's me on it. Won't kick it on me and go for 3 on you. You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor. I got it covered, these corners. I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Let's speak on it. This a stretch for anybody to reach on me. Just breathe on it, don't tell them. They gotta know it's me on it. We don't kick it on me and go for 3 on you. You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor. I got it covered, these corner like, yeah.